Okay, the last stage we're looking at, so remembering we've got half the chassis, we've got two holes to screw the motor mount down, we've got a slot for the wheel to go through, we've changed the sharp corners on the outside edge there, and basically we've got to mirror this, so you've got to create the other half and then work out how we're going to get that to your teacher. So let's go to the solid mode, and there's a tool here called Mirror, about halfway down. Now it's saying, if you look at there, it says mirror plane, no entity selected. So the mirror plane, if you look at it, is this plane down the middle. It's that glass plane down the middle of the job. So if I click on mirror plane, on where it says mirror plane, click on the mirror plane, and then if I click on, it says entity to mirror, in other words, the model part to mirror. Click on that. Click on just the part, just touch the part somewhere, and you'll see that the other half of the part will mirror across. As long as you can see it there mirrored, that's it. You just simply tick the box. Now remembering that anything you change in that tree, it's called a modeling tree or a feature tree down the left-hand side. If I was to change the hole positions, then it would change the hole positions for the other side too. Everything that happens above mirror will happen, mirroring will happen at the very end. So just another little feature, if you touch the little symbol on the side here, top, and you touch top, if I touch front, I can change it to the different views. I can change it to an isometric view, trimetric, just different angles, zoom to fit. Turn perspective on, so perspective actually allows it to look a little bit more realistic, as in the part that's furthest away from you will appear. You notice the plane edges are starting to converge. If I go to isometric, you notice that they're parallel. Okay, so what I'd normally do is just center the object, move it down, so I've got a good clear view of it. Now in this program, if you can touch a couple of these things up the top here. The history just tells you all the particular features that you've used. Now, once you've got your part done, once your member of your design team has designed the part from your sketches that you've decided on, then if you go to the three dots up the top here and make sure that you look for the share section there. So you go share, and then it says add an individual. So for this case, the name up the top here, I've put in now Mr. Ravel, Shane Ravel. I've put in Shane's number at the top there. So basically all I needed, once I've put it in once, if I didn't, all I would have to do, so if you typed in the email address of the teacher, whichever teacher it is, so it would be, for instance, myself would be doswald@kingscollegeqld.edu.au, it would send that part to me. So all I'd have to do there is just simply tick Shane, Mr. Ravel, and touch share. You can see there, Mr. Ravel's email has been shared. So he will get a copy of that part, and he will be able to turn that part into a machining or a toolpath file that will work with the laser. So once you've done that, done, and the arrow up in the top left corner, if I go back out of that, you'll probably notice that your part won't appear straight away, but if you look at the top there, I've got drone version 1, and it's given me the part. So if I want to go back to any of the parts, I just tap on the part, and up comes the part. If I wanted to modify, show dimensions, I could modify the overall size. I could change it to 120 by 30 or whatever size I decided to make it. If you decided that your motor wasn't going to fit and you needed to enlarge it slightly, then basically you have the ability to change them. So remember, crosshair, highlight, tap on it, orange first, tap tap, double tap on the screen gets it up. Obviously change it to the measurement you want, click the green box and you're away. So that's basically all the information you're going to need to create a chassis for your drone. It's going to have to contain all of the components, the control board, the 2 motor mounts and the motors that contain the wheels, and the battery. So you're going to have to fit all of those. You have to work out this model is not necessarily the right shape or size, but it's very similar to what you've got to do. Same workflow that you're going to use. So I hope you've enjoyed doing that, and your next stage after that is the laser.